So the LSU Tigers had one of the best seasons of all time in 2019. They went 15-0, won the national championship, and essentially dominated almost every team they played. Many consider LSU to be one of the greatest teams in college football history. So as I mentioned, they went 15-0, so we didn't get a chance to see LSU lose a game to anyone. So I thought it'd be a fun idea to go in and see what team could have beaten LSU had the two met up. So I'm using whatifsports.com, where I can essentially simulate live games from LSU against any team that's Division I in college football. And I'm going to simulate every team to see if any team is able to beat LSU. Now I know these are just simulations, so this isn't real thing, so there might be teams in here that actually would have beaten LSU in this, but in real life they wouldn't have stood a chance. That's why these are simulations. But I thought it'd be interesting to see, are there any teams out there that could have given LSU a run for their money? I know they almost lost to Alabama, their game against Texas was close, their game against Clemson was close until kind of the second half, but LSU didn't lose. So without further ado, let's get this underway and see what teams out there could have taken down LSU in 2019. Alright, well, we're going to be starting in just alphabetical order, so it starts with Air Force in 2019. So pretty much also it gives you the option how you want to run their offense. There's, I think, 6 different options. I'm just going to go with the option it gives it. I'm not going to make any switches, and I'm going to make it a neutral field so that way it doesn't give LSU a home field advantage for every game. And let's get this underway. And LSU starts off with a win. This would have really made the video bad if LSU would have lost to Air Force to start things off. Alright, now let's go to the Akron Zips. Yeah, Akron didn't win a game in 2019, so I'm not shocked to see them lose 73-17. This is going to be an interesting one, having LSU face off against Bama again. Let's see how this goes. And LSU comes out on top again, although it's not much of a high-scoring affair as the last one. Appalachian State, 58-14. Ooh, LSU against my Sun Devils. This will be a fun one. I'm going to give ASU 24. I'm going to give them 24 points to keep it within. Well, they lost by 33, but, well, okay. Hey, at least we kept it closer than U of A did. So LSU beat Boise State by 3 points. Wow. Well, I guess technically they were up by 10. According to this, the Boise State got a touchdown with 30 seconds left to make it a 3-point game. So technically, I guess LSU was up by 10 late, but a late touchdown made it 3 points. But that's the closest I think we've had a matchup be so far. So Boise State, he clipped it within 3 points of the Tigers. And the BYU Cougars defeat LSU 40-38. And they did it by hitting a 33-yard field goal as time expired with Jake Oldroyd. So BYU, they shocked the world and they upset LSU by 2 points. I don't think many people would have picked BYU to beat the LSU Tigers in 2019. I mean, that just shows how close it was. It was a game-winning 33-yard field goal to get it done, but I figured there'd be some teams that would get the upset, but BYU? I guess they got Joseph Smith on their side. Ooh, this is going to be a fun one. We have LSU matching up against Clemson again, a rematch of the national championship game. Let's see if LSU can win this game for the second time. And they win by 3 points. They win by 3 points. So a Justin Jefferson touchdown with 3 minutes to go gave them the lead. Wow. So they can't beat BYU, but they can beat Clemson again. This was a close matchup, though, 51-48. This would have been a really good national championship game, 51-48, that's for sure. But yeah, so far, I think we're about 20 or 25 teams through, and yeah, the only team LSU has lost to is BYU. They beat FAU 61-3. I think that's their biggest win so far, a 58-point win. So, yeah, sorry, Lane Kiffin. You and your Owls, you just could not get the job done. Alright, so now we're on to some SEC competition, and they defeated Florida pretty easily. Ooh, a close matchup against Florida International, only winning by 11. The Golden Panthers put up 27 points. Not bad. Okay, this next one's going to be a fun one, because I think Georgia... Yeah, so Georgia's up next. I think this is one that LSU might lose, so we're going to sim right now. LSU and Georgia from 2019. Let's see how this goes. And, wow, it wasn't close. LSU kicked Georgia's butt. So far, I think we're about, I want to say 30 to 40 teams in right now. We are about to go to Houston, and then Idaho, then Illinois. But I think, yeah, that should be about 30 to 40. So, yeah, through those, LSU is 30/40-1, with their only loss coming on a last-second field goal to BYU. And LSU still only has one loss, that last-second field goal to BYU, but as of right now, yeah, they're 40-1, 45-1, 15-1. I don't have an actual count, but I really want to see how they fare against the Kansas Jayhawks. I feel like this is going to be an interesting matchup right here. And 62-23. Fitting. Ooh, this one is going to be a blowout. UMass has to be the worst team I saw in college football last year. They were losing by like 40 to 50 points each game, so this is a fairly accurate simulation. This should be like a 60 or 70 point just blowout right here. So, let's see. 87-9. I need to see what the stats are in this game. So Joe Burrow was 30 for 30, 464 yards with 7 touchdowns. Jamar Chase, 7 catches for 110 yards, 3 touchdowns. Clyde Edwards-Helaire ran for 158 yards and 2 touchdowns. 87-9. They scored 38 points in the fourth quarter. LSU had 39 first downs. Wow. Well, I guess this shows this is a pretty real simulation after all. Alright, we're on Michigan right now. I think... Again, I don't know at what point the halfway mark is, but I feel like we got to be at least halfway. So if we're nearly halfway, we're at about 50, 55, 60-1. Let's just see how LSU fares against Michigan in a neutral site. Okay, Michigan, you made it a respectable game. You lost by 10. Tip the cap to you guys. You still lost, so nothing new there, but a respectable matchup. Mississippi State made this a game. They only lost by 6 points, holding LSU scoreless in the final quarter. So that's one of the closest matchups we've gotten so far. So Mississippi State losing by 6 points. Let's see what we got here. Nothing too crazy. So, LSU put up 58 in the first half against Nevada. Wow. again, I came into this, I figured there'd be one or two teams that might pull off the upset, but again, we're probably more than halfway, I want to say. And I think it was, yeah, Mississippi State, they lost by 6. I think the Michigan game, they were within 10 points, but for the most part, again, I'll be putting scores, I think, on the screen, so that way you can like briefly see what they are. I don't think there's been any other team really that's kept it like within 10 points. I think just Michigan, Mississippi State, and then I think the Clemson game when LSU won by 3 points. I think those have been the only ones that have been single point victories for LSU. I mean, they've just been handling all these teams so far. Well, LSU beat Northern Illinois 82-17. Joe Burrow threw 436 yards, 7 touchdowns. Clyde Edwards-Helaire ran for nearly 202. Jamar Chase had 5 catches for 150 yards. So that's pretty good. All right, this is going to be a fun one right now. We have LSU matching up against Ohio State. A lot of people thought that Ohio State might have been better than Clemson last year. Unfortunately, we didn't get the LSU-Ohio State National Championship. But let's see what happens if LSU would have faced off against Ohio State for the Natty. And LSU wins by 17. So, there you have your answer right there. Here's another pretty good matchup. I mean, again, LSU dismantled Oklahoma when they met them in the playoff game, but maybe a second matchup can be a closer contest. Let's see. Okay. I mean, they still lost, but they only lost by 20 this time, so I guess that's a positive for the Sooners. So LSU, they did defeat Oregon State by 10, but they had 28 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to beat them. They went into the fourth quarter trailing Oregon State 35-17. So that might be a little unrealistic. LSU winning the game maybe by 10, but the fact that they were trailing 35-17 and then they scored 28 points in that final quarter. Then we got here, Clyde Edwards-Helaire ran a 27-yarder with 40 seconds left. I mean, wow, what a fourth quarter by LSU to score 28 points. But hey, we almost had our second upset right there. And LSU just comes and they beat Penn State by 45. So there you have it. Oh boy, here we go. Rutgers. This will be, I'm going to go with 56 points is going to be the margin of victory. I'm going to go with 56. Ooh. Okay. Rutgers put up 36 on LSU. Now, granted, they allowed 68, but, okay. So I was wrong, but, I mean, technically, I figured LSU would score nearly 70. I just didn't think that Rutgers would put up 36, but well done, Rutgers. That's a very respectable loss. Yeah, so we're going through the S's right now. I'm currently on San Jose State, and I'm pretty sure I know what the outcome of this one's going to be. Oh, whoa. San Jose State lost by 10, and that's after a 35-point fourth quarter. They had 6 through the third quarter. They entered the fourth quarter trailing 38-6. Wow. Hey, way to go, Spartans. 10-point loss, putting up 35 in the fourth. Hats off to you guys. But as I was saying, I'm currently going through the final ones in S, and LSU still only has 1 loss. It's that last-second field goal to BYU, so, and they just beat SMU 44-0. So, as of right now, it looks like LSU might only have 1 loss, you know, barring a last-second upset from one of these teams here. Hey, we have another single-digit game. LSU beats Tennessee by 9. That's pretty good. And Tennessee had the lead going into the third quarter. So, again, they lose by 9, but Tennessee, they kept it a very close, and they made it a very respectable game. So, Volunteers, they're a team that's on the come-up, so I'm not shocked that they did well here. But well done, Tennessee. We're going to get to some good ones now. We got Texas A&M and Texas coming up, so let's see how these look. And they beat Texas A&M by only 18, so a fairly close game by LSU standards. Let's see how they do against the Texas Longhorns. This will be a fun one. A rematch of their 2019 game that was actually a really close and good game. Oh. Yeah. Hey, Texas can be back in 2021. LSU beat Troy by 3, and they needed a Cade York 38-yard field goal with 10 seconds left to give them the win. Wow. I mean, this was a close game for the entire game. I mean, LSU was up by, 13 at one point, but Troy, they came back in that second half, and in that fourth quarter, they tied the game with 2 minutes to go. So, yeah, LSU, they beat Troy by 3. That's one of the closest games we've gotten so far right now. Alright, so my camera died on me, but luckily we're still going. I was able to charge it for a bit while I went through some of these schools, so I think we got like, what is this, 10 or so left, so let's try to pound through these bad boys. Hey, they beat Utah by 13, that was a close one. Well done, Pac-12. A very nice score of 69-6 over the UTEP Miners. So yeah, we're coming up on the end now. We're in the W's as they just defeated Wake Forest by 48. And they still only have one loss. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, what is it, 7? So we got 7 left. We got the Washington Huskies right now. And based on these 7 teams that are left, I don't think LSU is going to lose to any one of them. I mean, stranger things have happened. There might be a last-second upset, but as we've seen this entire way, it's all LSU. All right, Wisconsin. I mean, this is our last chance to have another potential loss, but I have a feeling there won't be. Well, 13 points, so it was a close game. All right, we got the final one right now. We got, I believe, Wyoming left on the schedule. So to go with one loss for the entire 2019 season, the LSU Tigers, they do it. So they defeat Wyoming 62-13. So we just went through every team in FBS Division I in 2019. And LSU only lost to the BYU Cougars in a last-second field goal at the very end. So there you have it. I mean, I don't know how many teams nowadays there are in Division I FBS football. So 130. Let's go with 130. You take out LSU and you take out BYU. So what is that? 128-1. LSU Tigers, they go 128-1 had they played the entire Division I in FBS. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. If there's any ideas you guys would like me to do in the future in regards to whatifsports.com, leave a comment below, because I thought this would just be a fun sim just to see how dominant LSU truly was. And by the looks of it, with the exception of BYU, they dominated every other team. So LSU, 128-1. Not too bad right there. So yeah, if there's anything you'd like me to do in the future, leave a comment below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in a future video.